Hello. Hello, hello. Back
Hello.
at it again. Down and Out Sports Podcast coming to you live from another midnight recording session.
I guess we do all of these calls at midnight, apparently.
Because Saturday night's the only free time that we have together.
Man.
It's rare to get free time, but it's nice. It's nice.
What a time to be alive.
Just to
tell me
point
about
out, Cuba is here, but not here. He had to go take care of something, but he will be here.
That wasn't confusing.
Whenever he gets done with whatever he's doing.
It's like
What is he
here
doing?
in three different ways.
What's the over-under on what's he doing?
Honestly, at this point, fill in the blank. I have no idea what he's doing.
No. I'll take a dark turn too quick.
Anyways,
man.
This episode was supposed to be the NFL draft, but I'm going to tell you right now that I don't think any of us actually wanted to pay attention to the NFL draft. So, to all the people who drafted players, congratulations. You got people. Now go do something and be better.
I'm going to say something really quick, 30 seconds on it. I watched the draft outside of you, Hags, and I will tell you, I think a lot of teams got the right players, and there's a lot of value. Except Atlanta, they took a quarterback after signing Kirk Cousins to $150 million, and then with the 8th pick, took another quarterback who's just going to sit there. But outside of that, I feel like every team got some good value. So that is a plus. I like when teams succeed. That's all I have to say about that.
Nick, do you want to add on?
Unfortunately, there was no need for me to watch NFL draft. It's great Marshall Mathers was involved.
That was weird.
Detroit Lions.
That was weird. Yeah. Eminem wasn't weird. Goodell was weird.
So,
well, screw him.
He was trying to be 9 Mile, and it was just not working.
Mile?
8 Mile. And technically, there's a 7 Mile run.
Oh, he was trying to be 8.5 miles.
8.5.
Did you hear? Marshall Mathers coming out with a new album, The Death of Slim Shady, this summer. You believe that?
It's going to be over. It's going to be over.
Wow.
Putting him to rest.
I mean, do you think he's going to retire, or just be like, I'm done with this huge part of music in my life?
Shady will be no more.
Shady will always be remembered.
It will still be damn
of course.
Right. Damn
held
well said, brother.
A pedestal.
Slim Shady was our childhood, boys.
Damn right. I looked like Slim Shady for like almost every teenage year. It was everything.
Still do, bro.
That was a lot longer than 30 seconds.
With the beard,
you still do.
I had a beard before Marshall Mathers had a beard. Don't ever forget it. Then my Giants swept his Tigers.
Will segue back into baseball. Yeah.
Yes, baseball. Amen.
And the first thing we're going to talk about
Número
is a little update from last week. There's been some games and there's been some shifts. So, Blake, talk about the Giants.
Giants are doing better. Technically, we did lose tonight in 10 innings to Pittsburgh, but we got a walk-off win last night. We're in third place. Actually, we're tied in second. Sorry. We are tied in second with the Padres, the Arizona right behind us. And I believe we got 2 out of 3 versus the Mets. We're going for game 3. We're tied apiece against Pittsburgh. And, I'm going to get into all of it. We've won a few more series instead of breaking even or losing, but we haven't been swept, and we haven't swept the series. So we're slowly improving. Overall, I think that the downside is Blake Snell on the IL. That's a bummer, but better that happen now as it's barely even May than months down the road. Giants are very close to finding their momentum. They haven't figured out the right system, and it's okay for right now because it's a slow race. It's a tight race. Excuse me. It's a tight race in the NL West. But I'm going to make one quick bold prediction right now. I think my Giants are going to sweep the Red Sox in Boston. For real. I think our first sweeping victory is coming in Boston. But to be realistic and humble, I'm nervous about the Phillies. I was nervous about the Mets, but we did okay. We did okay against the Mets. I'm nervous about playing the Phillies. And the Rockies, we can't get too confident. We really can't. We that could be easy. I get it. And there's more games. We got to beat the Dodgers, and I think we're going to beat the Reds. I think the Dodgers and the Red Sox, we're going to do much better. overall.
I do want to point something out because I was just looking over the standings right now, and if the season were to end today, very, very weird to bring that up right now. But if it was to
That's
end today,
wild. Oh, weird. Very weird.
the Braves would take the East. The Brewers would take the Central.
Why are we
Dodgers
doing
would
this?
take the West. Hold on. Wildcard teams would be the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Reds.
And it'll change next week.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's just like,
or even in a few days. Like,
yes, to go off of his thing.
You got it. You got it. You got it, Biden. Sound it out.
Sorry.
English.
Sometimes my brain's slower than the words.
It's not even May 1st, bro. Not even May 1st.
That phrase alone should just answer that question.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, the Giants and the Padres are tied for second, obviously.
There you go.
But
Sorry.
yeah, it's.
There he is.
I mean, there's
Get yourself
other
a cookie.
better teams, so that's what I was trying to get at. There's other teams doing better. That the second place doesn't mean anything out of the West right now. No offense.
Okay, you got a point. I mean, the Cubs are half game. Or the Cubs are pretty much in first place. So the Reds got 15 wins. My Giants 13. The Mets and the Phillies are
I mean,
well,
technically
the Phillies are right
speaking,
where we're at.
the last
Mets,
place Cardinals in the AL Central has a better winning percentage than the Giants do. But that's the cool thing about divisions.
we played one more game than them. I'm looking at it right now. That can't be. We played one more game than them. Come on.
Giants are 13-5 with a 464 win percentage, while the Cardinals are 13-14 with a 481.
We're slowly improving. We're not rapidly improving. We haven't gotten swept, but I think we're going to get our first sweep versus the Reds. I'm calling it right now versus the Red Sox.
The moral of the
And I think we'll
story
probably
is that
get
you were
one by the
correct about
Phillies.
the Rockies. The Rockies are 7-20. They
Oh,
lost to
wow.
the Astros. Dang it. The one team they had to beat and they lost.
Who lost to the Astros?
Who do you think? The Colorado Hyman.
Oh, Colorado. Yeah,
Um,
it's just unfortunate for Colorado. After you see Arizona go to the World Series, I mean, Colorado just don't have a chance with everyone else in the division. It's just
bumping
it's
up
bad.
from the
Yeah.
NL West, National League Central. Like I said, the Brewers hold a half-game lead over the Cubs. The Reds are in third. Pirates are in fourth. Cardinals are in fifth.
It's so close.
I mean, honestly,
Wow.
the Cubs actually staying with it for once and not declining like how they have been. You know, they have these good starts and then just plummet, face plant to the ground. Good for them. You know? National League East, Braves in first, Phillies in second, Mets in third. The drop off with the records is insane. You got the Braves 18-7, the Phillies are 18-10, and the Mets are 13-13. So the drop off of about four. My brain's words. And then the Marlins are in Nationals. Marlins 6-22. Sorry.
Well, David, let me help you out here. Let me help you out.
Please
here.
help me, because my brain is fried.
Help me. Help me.
I'm gonna make the mumbling and everything very good for this video on the edit. So keep my brain's words.
Stumbling, bumbling.
Instead of censoring curse words, he's gonna censor mumble stuff. He'll put in some, I don't know, funny sound while laughing.
What the?
Right? No, you got 4 teams, 2 in the National League, 2 in the American League, that are much looking at its season over. I could be wrong. I know it's early. You got 4 teams that are like such a rough start. They're not going anywhere. 28 teams. It's anyone's division. It's the closest race we've seen in a long time. So you exclude the Astros, thank God. The Chi-Town Southsiders, who beat the Astros in the World Series. Don't ever forget that. The Marlins. That's it. Everyone else.
Astros.
You're really gonna write off the Astros right now?
I mean,
I kind of want to.
Angels are getting there.
No, I know we want to.
Kind of
Okay,
wonder.
I know we want to, but
But do we need to? It's too early to even. Yeah.
well, the AL West sucks, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Right.
Like all the crap they've gone through, they're still only 7 games back, and they don't have a healthy pitching staff. I think if they get that back, they might be able to crank back up to everybody's expectations on where they were supposed to be. I don't know. I'm not going to write them off the same way I'm writing off the White Sox, the Rockies, the Marlins, all them.
I might. I mean, it's a little early, so
Okay. I'm gonna speak better
I
this
kind of
time.
want to write them off, like all 4 teams.
I'm gonna speak better this time. Transitioning to the AL West, you got the Mariners
Good
in
luck.
first, 15-12. Rangers in second, 14-14.
It's wild.
Athletics are in third, 11-17. Angels are in fourth, 10-17. The Astros are 8-19 in last place. Angels do
Wants to
better.
take on this division first.
Angels do better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're in a free fall right now. We've lost 8 of the last 9. We're 2-8 in the last 10. And somehow, some way, we're only 5 games back of the number 1 seed in the AL West. So I get it. Tough because I think last time we did this show, Anthony Rendon was healthy. He is no longer healthy. He was in Cincinnati and partially torn his hamstring. So Mr. I'm always on the DL getting paid $36 million. Guess what? He's back on the IL, probably for a long time. So that's rough. Our pitching staff's rough. I feel like the only one who's really being legit and is good to see is Detmers. Everybody else is, I don't know what's going on. A lot of these young guys need to get it going. Trout can't do it all. You know what's funny is that Trout's last 10 home runs have all been solo shots.
Wow.
He leads the league in home runs, but he's like tied for 60th when it comes to RBIs.
Well,
Nobody is
do
getting
it all
on.
himself.
No one is getting on base for this dude. It's freaking sad. And so yeah, that's where my team's at right now.
I thought he struggled with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he did.
He can't struggle with runners in scoring position if there's no runners to struggle for.
Yeah.
That's your point.
Daniel just said it. He shot at least 10.
He struggles. He struggles. I think in clutch moments. So like 8th, 9th, bases loaded, runner in scoring position. That's been the motto of him choking a little bit. But I mean, he's leading the league in home runs. He's still doing his thing. But you know, baseball, you can't have one player try to do it all. This team's got to wake up. This team's got to get healthy. Rendon's going to be out. So like you're going to plug in Brent Hefo at third base. I don't feel too good about that. The good news is that going into the season, I had 0 expectations. We were going to do jack crap anyway. So I could just park myself back into those expectations and let this thing go down like the Hindenburg and really have no feelings about it at all. So that's where I'm at.
That's a great peace of mind to be at. Much respect for that, even though the Angels, some of the fans like all you deserve better. I think my question is real quick on the AL West. Is this the first time ever we've seen a non-Texas team lead the AL West?
No.
Your Angels. I mean, your Angels did it in 2014. Much respect there, but I mean, it's always been the Rangers or the Astros.
I feel like it's a yes.
For majority.
Yes and no.
Well, it's just a matter of time until Seattle falls off.
No, I understand. I can totally see Seattle falling.
Hold on, but are you slating this question in a way that it's overall or like during?
Since Angels won the West in 2014.
Okay, so winning
so since 2015, has any team led the West other than Rangers and Astros?
I think
Just
Oakland
that
won it a couple
That's
times.
9 years.
Oakland won it a couple times. Maybe they win it as a wild card. Actually, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they were a wild card. They had a couple of those teams that were in the playoffs. But you're probably right. For the most part, I think the Astros dominated it significantly, especially from like
2017.
Yeah, 2016, 2017 about
until 2022, the Astros have really locked down the West.
So there you go. So
and the
Astros
Rangers had it
it
before that, since like
Rangers took it last year. Rangers had it for a period.
Because at least in my memory, the Mariners they'll hold a lead during the season and just epic freak.
Don't let it go.
So
Don't let it go.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what they do.
Athletics.
I know
Rangers
Oakland
won one playoff game.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
pretty sure
I
that
don't
was
think Oakland won.
I'm-
I think they were wild card games.
if the A's won any division titles, it was pre 2010s, like probably closer to where Zito was still on the team. And guys,
Yeah.
2002.
and obviously the
That's a
Angels
that's a long
2014.
minute, guys. That's a long minute. Damn. Sorry. You want to go next division? Or like,
Next division, Central, AL Central. Got the Guardians in first place, holding it firm, 19-8.
Cleveland.
Guardians.
Cleveland.
Indians.
Cleveland.
Thank you.
Guardians.
No.
Wait, hold on.
Chief Wahoo.
Indians is in Guardians. No, it's not. I'm dumb. Anyways, Guardians in first place.
Daniel, how do we make him the host of the show?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the wrong guy here.
Coffee. You need coffee.
Guardians
Dew,
are in
bro.
first. Royals are 2.5 back at 17-11.
Screw them.
Tigers are 15-12 in third, 4 games back. Twins are 13-13, 5.5 because they've been whooping the S word out of the Angels like tonight. Oh my gosh, what happened? 16-5, 14-5.
16-5.
Why are you giving them that many runs?
Why are you yelling tonight's lotto numbers?
Because I want to win. And then in last place, 5-22.
Thanks for reminding me.
5-22, which the White Sox have beaten the Rays back-to-back games. So now Rays suck. Yes.
Ooh.
But White Sox 5-22, one of the bottom feeders of the game of baseball. I mean, I feel
They'll
like
probably sweep the Angels later in the season, so don't worry about it.
I don't think anything has really changed since last week. I'm pretty sure was the standings last week for the last episode. So, I mean, it's kind of like it's fun. Watch.
Wasn't Detroit in second?
No.
No, I was wrong. No,
because what I had to do with the last edit, if you watched it, when we were talking about it, we were talking about it a week prior to me actually uploading it, so there was more games played. So the Royals jumped the Detroit Tigers when we were talking about it, and I posted that disclaimer, up-to-date standings. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's essential. Pretty much where it's got to be. Not got to be, but where it's at. I mean, can't really argue with it. All right,
changed. What's your take on the AL Central, everyone? Who was first?
Crash.
One word, crash. Central.
Yeah.
Boom.
But I'll take the Guardians because Indians isn't Guardians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, clearly it's not. I just read the letter.
Being Indian. What are you smoking?
Stupid.
What are you smoking? Oh my God.
Gardanians.
Sorry.
Gardanians. Yeah, Galaxy of the Guardians.
I'm gonna edit a dunce cap on my head.
No. You should put the little thing of Joe Biden eating. You forget.
AL East. The Orioles and the Yankees are tied for first. The Orioles are 17-9. Yankees are 18-10.
Showdown.
Red Sox are still in third, 15-13. So beat them, sweep them, make them go down more. Blue Jays are in fourth, 13-15, and the Blue Jays and the Rays are 13-15, tied for fourth and fifth.
Yeah, I mean, what I've learned is
never pick the Rays for anything.
We've been talking. It's not that, dude. The Rays are 5 back. Chill out.
Rays. Anything.
I think at the end of the day, it's Orioles, Yankees. We all said that. We all know that. That is our truth. They're both tied for first. What more is there? I mean, dude, it might be close, and yeah, some other teams might make the playoffs, but Red Sox, Rays, and Blue Jays are going to be flip-flopping all year. 3, 4, 5 is just going to be rotating. It is what it is. We know who the two juggernauts are. It's going to continue to stay that way. They're going to load it up at the trade deadline. So, what's more to talk about?
Oh, I want to talk about The absolute clobbering the Yankees gave the Brewers tonight. That was awesome to watch. 15-3 final. Stanton, I forgot who pitched, but a position player pitched for the Brewers, and he threw a lollipop rainbow shot, and Stanton crushed the living hell out of this ball.
That shouldn't even count.
It shouldn't, but it was fun to watch. And
Wait, why should that count?
For them to score 15 runs.
Because they just sent some bench player up there on the mound
Well,
and said,
hey,
"Here, throw this like a grenade," and then he did.
Yankees also had Jose Trevino, their catcher, pitch the ninth inning. So he was throwing 49-mile-an-hour little loopers.
Bro, when you're so accustomed to 90, 95 plus, and then some gordo comes in and starts chucking 49.
There was whiffs.
Damn.
It was whiffs. It was fun. It was a good game. Good game.
Ain't no way he threw it that slow. Ain't no way.
Series finale tomorrow.
No way he was under 60.
Hey, can we talk about can we talk about something really quick? It wasn't on our agenda, but we got to talk about it because it's really making a lot of news, and we don't have to spend too much time on this.
Yeah.
How bad is umpiring this year?
Very.
The Angels played the Orioles a couple days ago. It was a Wednesday day game. Orioles were up 6-0. Angels were coming back. Made it 6-5 in the ninth with one out.
Oh, I saw that.
Joe Adell stole second. Clear as day. Replay called it. Clear as day. And they rung him up. Game over.
Wow.
And that's just one example. We all seen Angel Hernandez with his strike zone that's 15 feet wide whenever the hell he wants it.
What about the infamous
Aaron Boone?
Aaron Boone getting tossed for saying nothing.
Fan yelling. Oh, it's dude, these guys.
You're out of here. I didn't say anything.
They're getting paid a lot of money.
Hunter.
And they suck. I know it does, but it's
like they suck, but we can't do anything about it because they're protected by the umpire union or whatever the heck.
They got robots in the minors.
I mean, they should just implement a system where if they're doing so bad like Angel Hernandez, they get sent down to the minors.
Yeah, dude, the minors. I forgot. It might be AA. It might be AAA.
Well, they've already been replaced in the minors.
Yeah, they got the robots that are going. So what happens?
Wait, really?
Is that yep. So you have as the team a certain amount of challenges to where if it was called a ball or a strike or whatever, you can go to instant replay. There's still an umpire behind it, so it's kind of a mixed element right now. But if you think that ball was a ball, you can do a quick check. It's going to do the K zone, and it'll tell you if it was a ball or a strike. And whatever the computer says it is, it is.
Oh, like hit tracks.
Exactly.
We talked about this on the Pulse many years ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. When they were first saying, what if we had a robot, some type of robot to do it? I haven't followed recently on it.
Isn't it called the automated strike system?
First off, Hernandez is so bad as an umpire, he might as well be in the NFL. Let's just get that out of the way.
He's got the league. He has got the league by the balls. Excuse my French, but they can't touch him, and that's what sucks. Players hate him because he's terrible. No, but he's got the union protecting him, and he's already sued MLB baseball for racial discrimination and stuff like that. So he's got a track record. Baseball can't touch him. Players can't touch him. The union's backing him. I mean, until somebody kills him, we're pretty much dealing with Angel Hernandez.
We don't condone that.
Karma. Karma will destroy him.
Do not condone that.
Do not condone it.
But if a stray bullet happens to hit him...
Kill any bullet!
Karma will get him.
Well, I mean, there was talked about
way too long. Go ahead, Q.
He was like, let the electronic strike zone rank the umpires. We need to have a conversation about the bottom. Let's call it 10%. Whatever you want to declare the bottom is, and talk about regulating those umpires to the minors and getting in the best umpires in the game. That way the umpires are going against themselves. Wish that could happen, but we know it's not.
But my problem is they're so arrogant right now. They're I'll take the whole Aaron Boone situation, okay? Yes. He might have thought Aaron Boone said it. Now the camera shows clear as day it was a fan. Aaron Boone didn't say anything. Aaron Boone's looking the other way. There's a fan right behind him in a Yankee hat that screamed something. The umpire thought it was him, and that's whatever. After the game, The umpire had access to these videos. You know he saw it. And when he got interviewed, stood by what he did. Are you kidding me?
That's
Yeah.
bad.
Just
That
say
is shameful.
sorry. Apologize. Say, hey, my bad. I thought it was X.
He's not a man. He's not
Why
man
I
enough
did
to
it.
do it. Period. He's not a
Well,
responsible.
like there's even that
It's-
case
no
a
accountability.
long time ago where a White Sox pitcher he threw a perfect game or got to the final out, and I don't remember his name, but it was an out at first, but the umpire called it safe, lost his perfect game.
Galarraga.
Wow.
Yep.
And after the umpire's like, yeah, I messed up, but they never reversed it.
No, they couldn't though, because that rule wasn't implemented back in the day. So it had to go based off of the call on the field. He did admit it though after the game. He said, "I'll never live this one down."
I will
He's like,
say,
that kid went out. It's one of the speeches where it's like you feel really bad for the dude because you know he got hit with like death threats and stuff like that. But like right after the game was like, I saw it. It's on me. I just robbed this kid of a perfect game. I feel horrible. Like I know we're human, and I know that baseball has always had umpires, and I know there has to be that element moving forward. Like the game's always had the human element on it. We need to have it, but also we need to use technology because technology makes us fair. We are human. Mistakes do happen, but we should be playing on a better playing field here by using that technology. So, man, it's getting really painful. Some of these umpires just to watch these games and tight situations. Teams are just getting screwed. It's not a good look for baseball.
I agree. That was well said, Danny. I was going to say one step forward I think we did in baseball, the MLB did, was that coaches can challenge plays. And they go to New York and then see the umpires put on those headphones. We had that for several years now. So that's something. But, yeah, great case you made there about the umpires. They need to.
But even New York,
Hold
makes it wrong. Even New York gets it wrong. Like the whole
Sometimes,
Joe Adele thing. That went to New York. And they still got it wrong.
Do you ever think that if a play like that is like clear as day, and you know, and New York was like, okay, well, the umpire room in the review room in New York, when they go, okay, well, this is gonna get overturned because you get like, do you think they ever like talk to the umpires and go like, Angel Hernandez, you suck at your job, like do they like throw jabs at him, like
I would
open your eyes.
Hello, Angel. You're calling me again.
You gotta learn. Like,
yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was
go ahead.
Not so much like those close plays, but like if you've actually like watched the games and look at how like the strike zone is either super tiny where these pitchers are you're seeing them paint the corners and it's in the strike zone and they're getting these balls, or like Angel Hernandez sized strike zones where these like it's been more this year, and we're just about through the first month of baseball, and we've seen more of this bad stuff in 1 month than we have in a cumulative 2-year span.
It's gonna get worse.
2 years.
It's just gonna get worse until we do something about it. It's just gonna get worse.
Like,
I mean, there are some umpires who have like a 99%.
Why don't we just sign up to be umpires? We should just all sign up to be umpires. We should do it.
Dude, they get paid. They get paid.
At least we can see.
They make 6 figures. They make 6 figures a year, and all they do is travel and call games from March to October.
We get to come up with our out of here, like on strikeout calls or whatever.
I love that.
It kind of looked like you were trying to hug yourself. You were like this. Is that how you shower?
Blake can go like this. Do the Hulk Hogan on the strikeout.
I'll never forget that umpire. He did the whole thing when the Giants beat the Phillies in the NLCS. He was like the Grim Reaper, just dropped the hammer on Philly.
I think mine would be like, I'd go all Booker T 5-time, you know.
Dude, you can't see me.
Right.
Back to your dugout.
Let's transition to another. We agreed to this before the show started, and it was completely because we had to technically like kind of force a new script.
Don't see any more almonds.
But the question is, and Daniel is going to grade our teams
It's gonna be terrible.
that are, in a sense, MLB now, like pro team, like all-star, not all-star, but oh, what's the word?
Who's
Build
the
your team.
best player? Yeah, build freaking your roster from top to bottom. Go
Like
around the
build
diamond.
your all-pro MLB now.
Give me your starters. Don't worry about injury. Like people who are active right now are on the board. If you're building a team, who you have it, and I will judge you very harshly, kind of like how I was judged in high school. Ready? Go.
Oh my god! Don't get me started on high school.
Do you want me to go
High
first?
school.
Yeah, you can jump.
Do you have a list or no?
I mean, I do, but it
Should
ain't
probably
like,
unmute
Right.
before you speak.
Yeah, I know. I have mine ready.
It's not greatest of all time. It's MLB now.
Oh, then no, I
Yeah.
don't have a list.
Okay, Q, you want to go?
Web.
You
There.
go first.
That's
Okay.
it. No.
Okay, you ready?
Blake can judge with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
for catchers, I have JT Real Muto.
Real Muto.
Then first base, Freddie Freeman. Second base is going to be Marcus Simeon, or however you say his name.
Simeon.
Third base is Simeon. Third base is Nolan Arenado.
Simeon.
From the
Shortstop, I
Braves,
have
right?
Mookie Betts.
Mhm.
And then outfield, I have Juan Soto in left, Mike Trout in center, Judge in right.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, Mookie Betts is a
Nice.
shortstop
Ohtani.
now.
And then off the bench, I have Stanton.
Who's your pitchers?
Okay, for my pitchers in no order, I have Garrett Cole, Jed Mears, Zach Wheeler, Corbin Burns, and Spencer Strider.
Damn. Okay.
Almost put Ohtani in there, like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
I think the only
We can't
player.
touch the
Wait, did you say a DH?
Yeah, you said Ohtani.
Yeah, Ohtani.
The only player that I disagree with, I think, is your catcher.
Oh, you think so?
I don't like. I mean, Real Mucho's. You know what you're gonna get, but like I could probably think of like at least 3 catchers who have
Damn.
got out of the gate a lot faster than he is.
Yeah.
But hey, man, if you're into that, go get it. Like he's not a bad catcher. He's actually a really good catcher when it comes defensively, calling pitches and stuff with that staff. So
Yeah,
I like
the
it.
ranking it gave me is overall 89, true is 93, 87 power, contact 85, pitching 88, speed
What
is.
are we playing? Diamond Dynasty? What is
Yeah, that's what I'm building. Yeah, it only costs $600,000, so there we go. That's my team.
Yeah, and I would probably
Money ball right there, cue ball.
I'm gonna let David answer his first, but I would probably flip one of your outfielders. David, let me hear your list.
The outfielders are solid.
At catcher, I've
Alright,
had Adley Rushman, Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
First base, Freddie Freeman. It was a flip flop between Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson. The power
I think
aspect.
I think you went with the right choice.
Second base, Ozzie Albies.
Okay.
Shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. Third base, Jose Ramirez. Left field, I wasn't thinking that Mookie Betts was playing shortstop, so I put him as left.
That's fine. That's fine.
Mike Trout in
You
center.
can play both.
Juan Soto in right. DH Aaron Judge. I'm not giving Ohtani credit. I can't. Rotation: Garrett Cole, Spencer Strider, Corbin Burns, Zach Galen, Zach Wheeler.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
Gallon. Right.
Zach Gallen. Yeah.
Okay,
All
before
right.
Daniel breaks it down,
I like Galen though.
Before Daniel gives his grades, I think my memory's terrible, but I think Cue Ball gets the slight win over this one. They're both great lineups, but I think something about Cue Ball's lineup just sounds like if David's lineup and Cue Ball's lineup were to go at it on the show, even though it's like the same players in some situations, I think Cue Ball would win by 1 run, honestly. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Well, I guess we got to play Diamond Dynasty to find out.
I am a little shocked in both of you. in a sense of why on God's green earth you left out Ronald Acuna Jr. in your outfield.
Well, I thought Cue Ball said that name. No?
No, that was
No, his
Juan
was
Soto.
Judge,
Right?
Soto, and Trout.
Because he's.
Who was third base for you, Cue Ball?
I just wasn't thinking about him. He's just not a name that I would think
Nolan
of.
Arenado.
Acuna was so last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel's right. You got to switch them.
I mean, that could be true too. I don't know. I mean, the man won the MVP last year.
Yeah.
I think I don't watch too many Braves games, but I'm assuming I mean, they're winning, so I'm assuming he's
let me
doing his
check.
thing.
Let me see what he's doing.
Yeah,
Just
W.
keep talking,
Davo.
keep talking.
He's probably doing better than Judge. I'll tell you that much right now.
We'll see.
As of
Probably.
last week, Judge was batting like $168.
Judge is starting to find his stuff, though.
It's about time.
Oh, we got a debate.
It's okay,
Oh my
though.
gosh.
It's okay.
Yeah, he tees off on a position player, and all of a sudden he's starting to figure it out.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is batting .258 with 1 homer
here,
and
huh?
6 RBIs
Okay.
with 730 OPS.
Okay. What's Judge doing? I'm
He's
sorry,
looking it
David.
up.
Does your mic work?
I'm sure it does. All right, well, David looked it up.
He's batting. He's batting 190.
What was that?
190.
190?
5
Oh,
homers,
190, yeah.
15 RBIs, 719 OPS.
190. My weight when I was 18 years old. He's batting a $190. A $190. You know, for a $190, you get a bag of Cheetos. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
what's with these comparisons?
Just because
190.
he
Hold on.
a position player.
Hey, you donkey.
Okay,
You listen to me.
I am the judge here.
You listen here, Chad.
David.
Okay.
It's not Chad, bro.
I don't 190, 258. In my head, same thing. They're both slumping. So deal with it.
It's a 60-point difference. What do you mean the same thing?
All right, hold on a minute. Let's talk about game.
So David, you think Judge is improving, but is 190 really the standard he should be at?
No, 190 is okay.
No.
Hold on. No, 190 is below.
Problem is
190 is below the Mendoza line. It's bad. It's terrible.
Okay,
But 258 isn't any better.
It's a lot better.
No. There is no offensive production out of Ronald Acuna Jr. yet.
Do you not do math, sir?
1 homer, 6 RBIs.
No, I don't. I leave that.
I don't care. He's a leadoff hitter. He's getting on base. You said that OPS is in the 700s?
It's the same as Judge.
That's pretty good.
The same.
That's not the same. No, your problem with Judge is that Judge can go 0 for 20, and then you start talking crap, and then he hits one bomb, and you're like, yep, he's back.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold
that's
on.
arson,
Ronald.
That's arson, Judge.
Ronald, how many games have you played? 25.
Okay,
we're gonna
Yankee fans
on this one right here.
Oh,
I swear.
Okay, 18 walks. Whatever. Whatever.
David and Cue Ball, who are your coaches for your teams? Who are your coaches?
Joe Torre.
Throw that in there. Joe Torre. Cue Ball, who you got?
Doesn't have to be a coach today.
No, doesn't have to be a coach today.
Oh, you know what?
All right. Mike Socha.
That's tough one.
What?
Yeah, fuck it. Daddy Mike Socha.
Wait, does it have to be a manager?
Daddy Mike. Big Daddy So chilling with the homies.
I'll leave it Joe Torre.
I'm biased to say Bruce Bochy, but at the same time, I mean, he after X amount of years not being in the game, he came back out of retirement.
He's got 4 rings. 4 managerial rings.
He's 3 more away from
Blake's list at.
And 5
Brady
World
status.
5 World Series appearances, because I think he lost on the Padres to the Yankees. He's actually been to the World Series 5 times as coach.
Okay, if you had to,
that's
Daniel, to finish this portion out, if you had to grade both of our picks, what would you give what is my grade and what is Q's grade?
I think Q gets a slight advantage because he added Otani and you didn't.
Like you exclude the fact that
Fine.
he plays for a terrible team. He's still a
I mean,
I get it.
I mean, again, you put Judge, who's batting $190 as your DH, but yet Ronald Acuna is batting 250, 260, and that's kind of close.
Just
Go look what Otani's batting right now.
Kinda
He's
close.
batting
Just-
360.
just wait,
I don't
Q.
think that's kind of close to 190.
This slight advantage is going to get deferred another week.
How many home runs does he have? Is he pushing 10 already?
He's like tied for third. No,
Let
he's
me
got
check. Let me see.
like
So,
7 or 8 or 9.
how do you spell his name? Oh, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot.
A
Oh yeah,
R
home run, he's
O
tied for
N
fifth.
AARP.
space Judge. Yeah.
He is okay. 347, 7 homers, 18 RBIs with a okay. OPS is second in baseball.
So you know what's crazy is that you can actually double a 190 average,
Shut up.
and Otani's still better than that.
Shut up.
You can have 2 Aaron Judges right now, and they still don't make
Hey,
up one Otani.
You can
who's just
combine Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr. and you get a
You get a Ronald Judge.
You have to edit that one out.
Yeah.
Okay, so for
Get
my
a
team, that doesn't matter.
Aaron
Let's
Acuna
go.
Jr.
I'll give, like I said, I'll agree with Blake. I give Cue Ball the slight edge, just on that sheer fact. But your catcher was better than his. Aldi Rushman, I would take
I get it.
Yeah.
all over. You understand.
Lost that Roy, Daddy Hack the third. Okay. Next question was asked of me outside of the show that I'm bringing to them. But it is about Hall of Fame eligible. Hall of Fame
There it is.
eligible players for this next class.
Yes, class.
3 of them controversial. 3 of them are new to the ballot. I'm going to start.
Aaron Judge.
Should we just do the new first because controversial will take a minute?
We can
I
do
mean,
that.
let's just be
We can
real,
do the new. Okay, the new.
right?
First new person on the ballot for 2024, Joe Mauer. This is start now. Going back away from Joe Mauer, because that was just found out that he's already inducted into the Hall of Fame, along with Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and Jim Leland.
That was last year.
Joe Mauer was on that list, so he's already in the Hall of Fame. So
that makes sense.
He's already got there. We don't need to talk about his eligibility because he's already there. So we'll move to the next person, who is Chase Utley. I know.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
What?
I mean, Utley was a really good ball player. Utley won a ring. Utley was a legit player. But on that Phillies team, I'm probably taking Ryan Howard over him. And I'm probably taking Jimmy Rollins over him.
2008 World Series winner, 6-time All-Star. That's his accolades.
I don't think that gets you into the Hall of Fame, man.
Career.
He was on a really good team, and he was a pretty good ball player. But am I ever going to walk into the Hall of Fame and be like, man, I got to see that Chase Utley plat? Like
16
no.
years. His career batting average is 275, 259 homers, 18, almost 1,900 hits. I don't think that's Hall of Fame worthy.
It doesn't jump. I mean, dude, again, great guy, fun to watch, good ball player, got a lot done with his career. It's not a Hall of Fame.
How many home runs? I'm thinking, what's the standard for Hall of Fame? But that's my first question. My second question, which really relates to the controversial players, is isn't there players in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be there, and we know players outside of the Hall of Fame that should be in there. So that's what really makes that second 3 nominees so controversial. So that's my take on it.
So we covered Utley. Next person, before we get to the controversials.
It's a stretch. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if he got in, but
Okay.
I see where Daniel's coming from. It's not like you go in and you're like, let's go see him.
Next person on the list, David Wright.
Who?
Former David Wright.
David Wright.
Former third baseman for the New York Mets. His accolades: 2 Gold Gloves, 7-time All-Star, no rings. Played in the World Series though. They lost.
That's even a worse case because at least Utley was 1 for 2, I think, in the World Series.
So here's, I think, where they are different a little bit. Okay. Third base is a much tougher position than second base. And I think, hear me out, but I think David Wright was almost kind of like a face of baseball for a little bit. And Chase Utley never was. Right? Like when you were a kid and David Wright was in his prime, his heyday, Mr. Met, like if somebody asked you, hey, give me one Met, you're going to say David Wright 10 out of 10 times. So I don't know. It hurts that he doesn't have a ring, but he at least made a World Series, I think. You know, and if we're comparing him to people that like got in,
2015, right? Against the
yeah, and
Royals?
if we're comparing other recent third basemen, I know 2 off the top of my head: Adrian Beltre and Scott Rowland, and the only difference between them and Wright, I think, would be health and rings. Like David Wright was hurt a lot towards the end of his career. If he's not hurt, he's putting up bigger numbers. And he did a lot for a Mets team that sucked.
His career batting average.
But Daniel, are you making it a
96.
popularity contest?
See, he almost had a career 300 average.
1,700
like
hits.
That's pretty good. Like,
but he was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Towards the tail end of his career.
Right.
Just saying. But what I wanted to, this is going back to Joe Mauer, and you froze when I asked you this question.
Because I was in shock.
Didn't Joe Mauer have to call his career early because of the concussions that he got?
No, that was Justin Morneau, the other guy.
It was a twin. I was thinking of a twin.
See Daniel on the show.
Anyways,
where's his ugly face?
That's sorry for bringing up the guy who's already in the Hall of Fame.
It's okay.
First controversial man, myth, the legend,
Mickey Mouse,
the legend of the asterisk, Harry Juice Bonds,
Lamar,
Mr. 756, more than that, something. Bajillion home runs.
We're really gonna do this tonight, huh?
We are gonna do this. We are.
Wow.
All right. I'll let you boys take a stab at it first.
The controversial giant. First off, I remember Daniel saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, and then he thought, well, steroids is a part of baseball, so maybe we should, as well as some other names. But this is a fresh take. Daniel can have a new take on it. It's all good. My take on it is I want to say no, do not put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame because he did steroids. Yet I want to say no because he did steroids. I need to say yes because you don't have Pete Rose in there. You have players in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be in there, and players who are not in the Hall of Fame that should be there. So put Bonds in and just make the haters hate, or at least keep every record of Bonds doing great stuff against the Dodgers and the Cardinals, and I don't know, maybe one other team I can't think of that are a huge rival to the Giants. So it's like I want to say no. That's the right answer. He cheated. He did steroids, all that. But because the Hall of Fame isn't exactly what it truly deserves to be, and if there's no way to change that to improve it, just put Bonds in there. And by fault, I have to say, okay, well, I guess I have to say the same for Mark McGwire and A-Rod and Sosa, whoever. So my official answer is no. I'm trying to take the high road here. Don't put him in. Should be.
Well, it's tough because it's
adjusted.
They need
at the
better
very
people
least.
to vote for the Hall of Fame. I feel like personally,
I'm sorry. One more
for
time.
all
Keep
those
on.
old
It's
parts,
my
they
end.
need to have better people who do the voting for it
Yes, absolutely.
instead of all
Nailed
the
it.
old parts doing it. But I mean, well, that's the struggle. Is like, okay, well, Pete Rose isn't in there.
This is my
Yeah, he gambled, but
this is my
Yeah.
take on. And Blake, what I was thinking you said for me. Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame because of his search. How many years past are we? We can't allow
Yeah,
this man in the Hall of Fame for
for the most hits ever. Yeah.
for the hit machine because he gambled.
It was the 1970s, I think. Unless I'm well, you guys know the years.
and he didn't
But
even gamble as a player.
Barry Bonds did. There's no question about it. But he still had to make contact with the ball. So, in the age of you saying people should be in, people should be out, and we need to replace the voters here, I'm all for Barry Bonds being in the Hall. He still had
wow.
to hit the dang ball every night. He hit a home run because there was always the potential of missing that swing. Yes, he looked like Hulk Hogan 2.0, but he still had to make contact with the ball. And I think Daniel was going to say this as well. I feel like we're all just saying what we were going to, everyone else is going to say, but roids or not, you still have to make contact with the ball, and he did it 760 plus times in his career.
Wait, what's your case, David? Are you saying because he played the game, he just
Well, no,
cheat and do terrible. He cheat and
even
did
if you're
great. So
taking steroids, sorry to cut you off, like even if you're taking steroids, you still have to hit the ball. Steroids isn't going to magically make you hit the ball every swing.
He,
Yeah, sure.
my case is that yes, all of this stuff had happened so long ago, and you can't really, without some sort of AI generator or something, you can't remove the roids from him and see what his career was going to be like. But he still did it. His name is still in the history books for all these things. Asterisk or not, he still had to put the barrel to the ball and hit it 1,000,000 feet every night.
interesting take. Okay, he still put in the effort. He still played the game to make the hits
He
happen.
might have, but this is another thing is what you brought up is that does this open the door for the Maguires, the Sosas, the Royd era
So what other player? We
come
always
in?
say Pete Rose, and we agree Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. We always say Pete Rose.
I
What
feel
other
like
players?
I feel like
I don't
he's
get
the
off topic.
only
How
one
many
to
other
be
players?
compared to because like it's like Pete Rose didn't Royd because
Right.
he is
He was legit.
ineligibility is strictly off of him gambling that had nothing to do with actually playing the game.
Be a darn shame, a damn shame, really, if Otani still gets to play and Rose can't get in the Hall of Fame for gambling. Like that is just absurd. But that's a whole other thing. But I
So
think my case, I'm saying no is because you want to improve the Hall of Fame. If there's other players,
correct.
put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, then don't put Barry Bonds. Keep the Hall of Fame pure. Take someone out of the Hall of Fame that doesn't deserve to be there. And you guys are better at memory and names and baseball memory. So if you can improve the Hall of Fame so it's more pure of actual players that deserve it, then don't put Barry Bonds in there. But if the Hall of Fame cannot be improved, then I'll change my mind and say, you know what? Throw them in there. Make the Dodgers and Cardinals super angry.
So just for the record, who says yes, who says no? Before I jump in here.
I'm a yes.
Oh my God.
So David's yes, Hall of Fame, Cue Ball's yes, and the one Giants fan on this is saying no.
I'm trying to respect the Hall of Fame, but if that's not the priority here, then
I got
let's
your
throw them in
respect right
and
here.
watch the haters.
Yep.
I
So
can't even
check
see
this
you,
out.
Daniel. I can't even see you, Daniel.
You're not
But
missing much, dude. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm
so
going with yes. I want to say yes. I really do.
Here's my quick summary lifestyle life thought process on this entire question, and I've thought about it every single year since Barry Bonds was in the league. I used to hate this man. I thought he was a fraud. I thought he was a cheater. I thought cheaters never prosper because that's what I was taught. And I thought, okay, well, this guy's a bum, so why are we going to put him up with the greats?
Mm-hmm.
Then I thought about it a little bit.
For 20 years or more.
I thought about, well, when he played, which was, 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah, a long time ago, more than 20.
baseball was struggling a little bit when it comes to viewership and all that stuff. And it took a home run race every year or so, starting, I think, in 95, with Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and Griffey. And I remember as a kid going to Sports Center and just turning it on at night and being like, all right, who hit a home run tonight? And it was literally just at this back and forth in late August and September. And that's what sparked baseball. Before any of this stuff came out, those dudes felt like superheroes. And as much as, we look back now and say, man, sucks they were cheating, that was a part of the game. And that was a part of the game where a lot of people were doing it because the rules were kind of bleak. And you could get away with it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get slapped on the wrist like you do now.
Sorry, real quick. What does bleak mean? I haven't heard that in a minute.
So
Like
it was
thin.
they had
Thin?
very
Okay.
very
Go ahead. Sorry.
basic rules that weren't even rules. Essentially, they weren't testing for it. They weren't punishing.
Linear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight and narrow.
So, and then I started thinking to that point, what David said was that as you can take all the steroids in the world, you have to do what's the hardest thing to do in sports and turn a 90+ mile an hour fastball. You okay there, buddy?
No.
You have to take a 90+ mile an hour fastball and you gotta hit it over a wall 759 times.
I'm sorry.
So speaking of someone who needs steroids right now, David.
David, let me show you how the master smokes.
Yeah.
You need some help there, brother?
I know.
I think we have. I think we have a new meme for the rest of
I forgot.
Our creation.
Never mind.
But no. Check this out, because I wanted to share this because this stat is absolutely nuts. So in 2004, Barry Bonds, and that's the year he only had 45 home runs. He had 135 hits, 232 walks.
That's a lot of walks.
373 at bats. Boys, if you add those walks and hits, you get the number 367, which means out of 373 at bats all season long, he got on 367 of them. That will never happen again. Ever.
That was just him taking walks. Dude, he didn't even swing the bat.
They would walk him with the bases loaded. The other team would give up a run so that he doesn't crank a grand slam over the wall. That happened
they were legit afraid of him.
Constantly.
Yeah.
This dude, whatever you got to say about him, it's valid and he's got to own it. But you cannot call yourself the Hall of Fame and have the one man who hit the ball over the fence more than anybody who's ever played your game, regardless of what he took and when he took it, out of that hall. You cannot do it. But Blake, I agree with you too. I think Pete Rose should be in as well. But if we're talking strictly right now,
Daniel.
Barry Bonds is your home run leader. You gotta put him in. And you know what? Put an asterisk on him. I don't care. Put him in the hall though. Acknowledge that it happened.
That's a great case.
Hold on. I just thought about this.
Focus. Okay, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
If Barry Bonds does get in, does this open a way for Pete Rose to go? Come on, guys.
I mean, he already should have that way. His whole thing with baseball is stupid. That commissioner that did it, He's dead now, but he just, I don't think,
Wouldn't you think Rob
like the guy.
Manfred would be like, okay,
Yeah,
No, I don't have any hope for that.
why don't we just
Rob
lift the
Manfred?
ban and let this happen? Like, I don't.
they're probably gonna wait. They're probably gonna wait till he dies before they do it.
It's so sad.
I know, but you know what? We all know the truth. We all know that he should be in there. We all know that, it's the same thing. Barry Bonds.
Turn
Barry
into a
Bonds should be in there.
JFK conspiracy.
You are the Hall of Fame right now. Okay, you are the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure you got another player we're going to talk about in a second. But you don't have the home run king, you don't have the hit king, and you don't have your strikeout king in Roger Clemens in your Hall of Fame.
Why not Roger Clemens? And I have a point I need to make after you answer that.
Steroids are keeping him out too.
He pitched in the Reuter,
Brian.
and he was a partaker. In said,
Okay.
Yeah, he was connected to Balco and all that.
So you both brought up excellent cases but I think our focus is very different. David is Barry Bonds put in the effort. He put in the effort to practice. He hit the ball. He didn't just take steroids and abracadabra, all those stats pop up. Daniel's case is really popularity. We gotta get the views of baseball up. No one's watching baseball in the early mid '90s, and that baseball trying anything and everything. My case is keeping the Hall of Fame pure. So I don't know who has the best goal and which one of those three options is the best one path
which one of the three options is the one that's going to be taken is probably yours. You think about
out because try to improve the Hall of Fame.
I mean, he hasn't been in it yet, and how long has he been on the ballot for? A few years, right? 3 years. How long do you have on the ballot? Like, I don't even know.
Isn't it 5 years after I retire?
You have 10 years, but every year you have to have over 10% of the vote. So if you don't have a certain amount, you're automatically dropped off.
Jeez.
What did he have this year?
Who is he?
The Bonds.
Like in the 40s. You're gonna have people. I mean, he rubbed people the wrong way too. He rubbed a lot of media people the wrong way, and that goes to Q-Ball's point. Like, why are journalists making this vote when in reality this is our Hall of Fame as fans? We're the ones paying money. We're the ones going. We're the ones telling these stories to our kids. And you can have a reporter that got into it with a player 30 years ago, and if this dude holds a grudge, is just never going to vote for him and could potentially keep him out of the Hall of Fame based on how he treated a reporter in a situation. Like,
and Bonds was real with it. He had no fake attitude like McGuire and lying with apologies. Bonds was real with everyone on reporters. He was intimidating, both on and off the field. I think that if there's no way you can really improve the Hall of Fame, you can't put in Clemens, you can't put in Rose. Bonds. The goal isn't my point of let's fix the Hall of Fame. Let's make the Hall of Fame more valid. If that's not a possible goal, then just put in Barry Bonds and let the haters hate. And honestly, I would be happy. Like even before you two made up, all three of you made a great case for Barry Bonds. Like I think I'd honestly for him to be in there. I could think of so many people that'd be so triggered and that would just joy to my heart. And he without Bonds and McGuire, I mean, baseball probably would have the lowest watching attendance probably until late 2000s. It stretched all the way to 2010. It's just they really brought back popularity in baseball. And sorry, I just think that if there's no point in putting in Clemens and Rose. From a non-biased point of view, if you can't improve it, put in Bonds. And
like I think there's worse things in the Hall of Fame than not having Barry Bonds. You talked about having a pure Hall of Fame. Well, guess what? There's artifacts from the 2017 World Series when the Astros won, and we all know what happened there. They got immunity for telling the truth about hitting trash cans and coming up with signs and doing all that. Their stuff's there. That's all acknowledged. But You see what I'm saying? Like they're
Took a-
already knee deep, and we want to take this even farther. Baseball's been around since the 1800s.
Yeah, I'm right.
You can't tell me that there's maybe a few controversial players that are already in here.
Yeah, there's
Like
got to be
100%.
100%
So
chance.
yeah, I mean that's just the way lifestyle was back in the day. A lot of people from
Yeah.
the South, a lot of people, and that's just how they did it. And
Oh.
they're in the Hall of Fame with the background that they have. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, I think he needs to be in. That's what I'm at.
Leave it to a Yankee and an Angel of all people to convince me to say, you know what, it ain't about making the Hall of Fame pure. Put Barry Bonds in.
Barry Bonds
No,
and
yeah.
Roger Clemens' 10th year. They're not on the ballot anymore. They're not eligible.
No, they were off.
2022.
But so what can happen though is that there's a special. So the writers vote for the people on the ballot, but there's a side panel that can basically put anybody
so it
in.
can still happen.
So it can still happen.
Very slim chance though.
But like 10 people have to agree on it.
Only 10. How is that slim?
It's like the writer's guide or guild or something. I don't know. But
Whatever
there's
Writers Association is doing it.
he could still get in. But they definitely need to change the voting process. Like make it a third for each. Give the writers a vote. Give the fans a third vote. Give current players or past players a third, or people in the hall a third vote, and then collectively come up with some number that they have to hit. Like that's more fair than what they're currently doing.
No, it should be fans, current and former players.
I digress.
Owners. The journalists shouldn't be a part of it anymore.
No, I agree. Any other players?
Yeah. Next one.
Who?
I thought so. We covered players that are not eligible. Mauer and Bonds, right? Is that right? And Utley, like,
well, Utley is eligible.
he
Wright,
is eligible.
David Wright was eligible. Joe Mauer already made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I wasn't reading that. And then Bonds, obviously, but there's two more guys that I want to add in there in the controversy side of things. One of them with A-Rod or with Barry Bonds is A-Rod.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up, no.
Wow.
Nope.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Do you think it's different because he's not the home run king? And he did the steroids after they put those rules into place and he got busted twice for it.
I think the after the before, like what happened to Barry Bonds was like that was different time, different
Era, yeah.
A-Rod did it when there was already starting up the no clinic for that kind of stuff.
Balco and all that. Yeah.
So I think because of the time that at least the suspensions happened. I mean, remember he got suspended 162 games. Second offense. What was it? There was 80 games, and then he appealed it, and then got tacked on more. So I'm going to tell you right now, because of when it took place after 2014. So can't
his second one.
You can't it's
yeah.
Tied up in too much stuff, and it's like, you got this little cloud hanging over your head. Just stay on Fox Sports. It's okay. People will remember you.
You know what sucks about these two? Like if they don't take steroids, their numbers probably come down a little bit. But let's be real. They're first ballot Hall of Famers. A-Rod as a rookie was a freaking stud with Seattle. An absolute stud. Then he went to Texas.
Yep, called it.
And started crushing there. I should know. Every time he played the Angels, he hit a home run. He owned us his entire career. That boy can hit. And he was clutch.
Contract too is when he signed with the Rangers. I remember that.
Shoulda, coulda, East, woulda.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and it's hard because I just went on a full blown rant about Barry Bonds, who's the number one golden boy when it comes to steroids in baseball. I mean, and I want to put him in the hall, but I don't want to put A-Rod. And it goes to the simple fact of what you just said. Like He happened when the rules were implemented, when baseball was cracking down on it, and he
A-Rod
did
hit
it twice.
600. A-Rod hit 696,
He did it twice.
which is what, like fourth place, third place, fourth place. One of those numbers.
Daniel made a great. I'm saying no to A-Rod. He got caught not just once but twice, and this was well after the rules were implemented, where MLB was catching on to the whole steroids. Even though he's got at least one World Series ring, maybe more, been to several, done a lot of playoff stuff with the team. One
ring. 09.
Can you get any other ring with playing
That was
against?
That was the only World Series he ever went to.
One for one.
1-for-1. No, I think the time era makes a huge difference. It's not just the stats itself. So my answer is no. What about you, Keyball?
No, I mean, I would say yes, but because he got caught twice, it's a no. If he would have gotten caught once, sure, okay, yeah, whatever.
If he would have cheated more sneakily.
Yeah, would have been in the Hall of Fame.
Fun story though, dude. He almost, when he was in Texas and their owner came to him because they needed to cut payroll, and he had just a massive contract. He almost became an Angel. It was basically down before the Yankees jumped in. It was either the Red Sox or the Angels.
Damn.
Like there was some strong stuff, and I actually think there was already a trade in place with the Red Sox. I have to look it up.
Also, want to add that this last year, so this last Hall of Fame voting, that was A-Rod's 8th year on the.
So he's almost done. What percent was he at?
I think it said like 34.8 or something.
Yeah, the thing with the Hall of Fame is you got to be making like a 10% incremental every single year
to stay on it.
Yeah, that's what Scott Rowland did. Like Scott Rowland recently, I think he started on the ballot at like 20%. Then the next year was 30%. Next year was 35%. Because once you start raising up a little bit, like there's going to be years where people are going to look around and be like, well, none of these guys are Hall of Famers, but Scott Rowland's been raising up, so let's put him in, and they'll make a case for him. If you don't do that, you don't just skyrocket one year. That doesn't happen.
Well,
so I don't think
at least you know that people are voting for him.
Yeah, it's the people that look seriously at the numbers and not all the other BS.
The analytics.
If you look just at his numbers, 600 home runs, yeah, he's in.
Third guy. List of controversy.
Yes for Bonds, no for A-Rod.
I'm pretty sure he was in the same boat here. Manny Ramirez.
Gonzo.
He had
Threads.
this last ballot, which was his 9th. So this one's his last one.
Was he a cheater for the Dodgers?
Yes.
Or Red Sox?
He took the woman estrogen pills and got busted for the Dodgers.
The first cheater in Dodger history.
I don't know about the first.
Well, that we know of. I mean, who knows what happened 100 years ago or whatever, but
this last ballot, he had 32.5%. So his next year's Hall of Fame is his last ballot. Probably knocked off.
Too big of a gap. I think he was a great postseason hitter.
Estrogen pills, really?
He killed. Yeah, man, look it up. He was great in the postseason. I mean, he would mash and felt like he was like super clutch. Had a lot of walk-offs, but I think he was a product. I mean, when you look back and you think of how deadly that team was, the two teams he was on, right? Keep in mind he played with the Indians too as a rookie, but he had like Jim Thome batting in front of him. Jim Thome's in the Hall of Fame. In Boston, he had David Ortiz batting in front of him. David Ortiz is in the Hall of Fame. Like, dude had protection, and people were really forced to pitch to him. I mean, he made them pay, which is good for him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. His numbers aren't as impressive as like an A-Rod or a Bonds, or because I think he had like 500 and something home runs, right? So impressive, 500. But like, if you're tied to steroids at 500, you're not getting it at all.
555.
Yeah, the same thing.
Career
He got
312 batting average.
that's pretty good. But he got
250
busted.
or 2,500 hits.
He got busted for steroids after the fact. Same time A-Rod did.
World Series
Rules are in
winner.
place. They're testing you. Like, you should know better.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote no, not just because I hate the Dodgers, but what did he really accomplish? Did he win one with the Red Sox?
You had 2 World Series titles.
He won 2. Yeah. I mean, again, he was a big reason why they did too. Like, this guy was super clutch in those situations.
He
I
broke the
felt
ball.
like, yeah, I mean, him and Ortiz, it was, at certain points throughout those like stretches with the Red Sox, and just they were absolute monsters. It was like, dude, what do you pick your poison? You want to get cranked from the left side or from the right side of the plate? Because either one of these dudes is going to bop you, and that's how they were. So he was no joke. He's a great ball player. It's just, for me, rules were in
I
place.
just don't think the stats are there. He doesn't really stand out.
I mean,
I-
500 home runs, dude. If
You're
he had no ties to steroids, he'd be in. 500 home
Yeah.
runs. That's the mark. That I feel like the 500 home run club sets you apart with the big boys than anything under that, right?
He was
It's a
not the
very
only
big deal when it's a
part of the
threshold.
conversation. Even if he's still with the Red Sox to break the GOAT curse or Boston curse, whatever it was. So he wouldn't be part of the conversation. If he wasn't doing steroids, he wouldn't have done at least half of the accomplishments he got done. Even if he was still on the winning 1 or 2 with the Red Sox. Like
Mm.
no, the fact that you don't have Bonds and McGuire and A-Rod in, this guy doesn't have a shot. No way.
I think you have more of a case for A-Rod and Bonds. If you include steroids in all 3, you have more of a case for A-Rod and Bonds than you, man.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't feel like just Manny Ramirez was a like he was
He did whatever the hell he wanted.
He did his thing, but that's all he did.
Yeah.
he doesn't like the name doesn't carry weight. That makes sense.
Remember that last year he went to Tampa
Everybody
Bay and
knows
played for
his
the Rays?
name, but he's that creepy uncle in the corner. You know, that type of feeling.
Then he played Korea for a couple of years.
He's
Tried to make a
51. He's
comeback.
51 now. So he's gonna probably binge. He's probably really watching the Nathan's hot dog contest every year. But,
Cut your hair, dude. Hang him up.
no. Oh, mine? His.
No, his. But yeah, yours too.
Uh-uh.
No.
That was Hall of Famers.
Sweet. That was fun. Good question.
Talk about something. I can find a trivia question.
So how about those Angels?
They suck it in mine.
How can I watch the movie Angels in the Outfield? I want to watch that movie.
Disney Plus.
I'm pretty sure it's on Disney Plus.
I don't want to give Disney Plus my money. Disney does not have my money.
Give it to Hulu Plus, and then you still have access.
Oh yeah, that might work.
Good.
We were going to cover the catch. Get that over with.
No, I think we'll be here another hour if we do.
The catches were covered.
I got it over
week.
with last week, bro.
Okay, cool. I'm good. I mean, I think Edmonds had a better catch, but
that's all I needed.
Had a better save.
That's all I needed. Your moment was more high pressure. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But
the direction Edmonds went, and
if we're talking solely like the hardest catch ever made that I've ever seen, the greatest catch I've ever seen, it's that Edmonds one.
Oh, here's a good question. Got a question. It's a good one.
I hope you have one job.
No, he had many jobs. He'll get many cookies.
Of the 16 franchises of the modern 2-league era, which one has never won more than 100 games during the regular season?
Who has not?
Who has never won more than 100 games?
In one season. What teams are we talking about here? Two teams of 16. Two. Oh,
I would assume this means all 16 franchises of modern 2-league era. What does that mean?
there's 32
Alright.
teams.
It's like everybody up to like probably 80s or 90s. When they used to do the divisions, it was literally just the top. It was like NFL. They had National League, they had American League, and then it was like the top 8 made it. Like the Angels and Brewers were in the same division.
Oh. Yeah, maybe not this question.
I assume it's the Rockies. I don't think they've done good.
They're not a.
That's a good question because that's a good answer, Q-Ball. Because excluding the year they lost to the Red Sox in the World Series, I can't think of one thing the Rockies have ever done great.
Rockies haven't come on since early 1990s, and they already had division split by then. So,
I mean, you guys can take a wild guess at this, but I'll look for another question.
I am going to guess.
I have the other. Because I didn't know what 16 franchises of the modern 2-league era until I read the answer.
I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna guess NL Central.
Am I supposed to tell you yes or no?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get a hint. Damn it! All right, never mind. I don't want to play anymore.
But it has to be old teams before the 80s?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. This question's weird.
I mean,
I'll give you. You want me to give you the division?
Sure.
Yeah.
AL Central.
Twins.
The Guardians.
No.
Royals.
No.
Tigers. Oh, I'm right.
Oh, I guess which one's the last one?
White Sox.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
wow.
White Sox won exactly 100 games in 1917 and have never recorded more than 99 since 2020.
And they got a championship.
Or
that
through
time.
2020.
That
They
was
got
the
a
shoeless Joe
championship, too.
Jackson era.
Yep,
Does that question make sense with that answer?
it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I still don't get it.
I thought you said what team didn't win 100. What won 100 team? Oh my god. Okay,
Who never won more than 100 games during a regular season. Winning 100 is 100, but winning more than 100 games. So 101 up. Honestly, I should have just said.
Now you know math all of a sudden, Mr. 190. All right.
Okay. All right. This will be the actual question because that doesn't count.
David needs to go back to school with batting average.
Who was the only American League batting champ without a homer that season?
Not a homer.
I don't know.
The only American
The White Sox.
League.
No.
Rod Carew.
Correct. The Twin star hit 318 in 1972. 3 National Leaguers also turned this trick. Wee Willie Keeler of the. Okay, that's too old. Yeah, no, that's before his time.
You guys ever see his stance?
Rod Carew. Well,
Yeah.
the stance is gonna be down here.
I know, but he goes like this too, like gets like holds the bat kind of funky. Like you can't get under a ball like that. He was a total slap hitter.
Rizzo with his hands.
Yeah.
All right. Very weird episode. There's going to be a lot of editing.
Yeah.
I am gonna have my homework. We are at the hour and 32 mark, or the 32-minute mark.
Have fun chopping that up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barry Bonds. No.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Not you on batting averages.
Well, and then
Barry
his
Not Barry Bonds. Okay.
and then his camera getting stuck on Chad mode. You
Yell at Chad.
were just like this,
I
not
just
moving, not blinking,
wanted to
nothing.
see you, man. Jeez.
All right, this was episode 7. I think so.
David, you need a break from hosting.
Number.
You want
Yeah,
Daniel
I
to host one?
do. Daniel, you want to host next week?
We need a new producer.
You want to Houst?
Boost.
You want to Houst?
What is happening right now?
This was,
David,
this was
you're
episode
all
7 of Down and Out Sports Podcast.
Is it? I don't even know.
We are calling it quits because editing is going to take me forever.
David's calling it
It's gonna be
quits.
a wild season.
Next week, trivia game show. Daniel's hosting that one.
I want to play though.
No. Q,
All right.
you want to host?
Hey,
Intro?
I'll see what I can come up with.
Okay. So Q's the
There we
game
go. Or
host,
maybe
and we're gonna play against each other. All right. Cool. All right.
No EV questions though, because I'm not going to get it.
Yeah. And no questions that we've already asked.
Damn,
Yeah,
I just
you.
some videos in.
That would be cheating.
No.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
But watch some tape. But
On
anyways,
that one. I mean, David can still host if he gets a nap in before the next show if you want, David.
Or maybe a couple English classes.
all right. This is when we leave. Good night. Thanks for
Maybe a math
watching.
course.
See you guys next week for the trivia game show.
Down
We
and
have
out.
in
This is
store
how you vape.
with you. Stop it. Anyways, good night.
Oh, thanks for
Goodbye.
listening.
Can't
Adios.
have it. Let's go. Down and out.
Adabla.